and you think, yeah, salt would melt this quite well.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Get Your Deck Out, your weekly mivering, talking, fumbling around the Magic the Gathering competitive scene with me, Ultimate Dave, my partner in crime, Scott, 11's MTG.
Bonjour.
And it's been a busy one. It's just, the new year is here. New standard is here, thanks to Lorwyn, as we've seen on the last couple of episodes. And we are at the front end, the start of the bookcase, if you will, of a rather interesting few weeks in the competitive sphere, Scott, isn't it? So we got lots to talk about on that. Before we do all of that, if it is actually your thing, we're here on YouTube. Numbers going up. It's great to have you. Don't forget, you can also listen to us over on Spotify or on iTunes. Just go and obviously follow on there and let us know what we're like in your audio years. We've heard feedback such as you love going to bed with us, you love waking up with us. That's just feedback that you love to have. Whatever age of life, whatever you're doing. Make sure
it depends who from, but
make sure that you're following along for all of the action. We take a trip into a healing standard, a fun standard to play. Some tweaks around the edges which might still need to be done, but all I'll say is, whilst the metagame challenge is there and it's ready to play and it's ready to farm, I will go off farming, Scott, as I did this weekend.
Yeah, you managed to get 7 wins. Was it with Reanimator?
Yeah, twice with Reanimator, thanks to the new elementals. And this deck is up on our moxfield right now for you to go take a look at. I ain't no inventor with this one. I just sort of took a look at day one of SCG Portland, saw kind of that Reanimator was doing a thing. And I tell you what, it's really nice to play sort of a Thoughtseize in standard right now. And yeah, it is pretty much a execute your thing, win the game type of deck.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of hate it. I kind of hate the play patterns, but I think that's because I've played against it 25, 30 times on Arena, and they've never not had Superior Spider-Man or Kavairo on Arena later than turn 5. So, sure. And I'm playing Lessons, which is a horrible matchup for it no matter what I'm doing. I am trying a Stormchaser's talentless version. I know I said I wasn't going to do that. I think even just last week when I had a chat with Josh Corliss, I had a chat with Ben Jones, and in a world where spell Snare exists, I was always going to stay away from Artist Talent. But there's some things you can do. I imagine Dave will put this one up on our moxfield as well. It's got 3 steps ahead, which can actually copy Monument, which I didn't know about when I first looked at it, but you can copy the Monument and then draw discard. But yeah, let's... Should we dive into this Sultai deck? Because I look at it and I see 1 Awaken the Honored Dead, and I think that's wild. And I don't see too much else that's... There's a lot of 3s. There's 1 Meringue River Region, 2 Bitter Triumph. There's 2 Cavern of Souls, which I understand that you want to make Kavairo uncounterable, but just seems so difficult to me. Is Town Greeter a human?
Town Greeter is a human, and
Oblivious Bookworm's also a human, I assume.
They are, yes. So
that's why we're not playing Snare Spinner.
So you do get some value from there. I think it's better than Snare Spinner, though, that makeup of cards. I look at the deck and I put it up there. Honestly, a lot of people always go, oh, I'll give you my new version. I still got the goods with this version. Would I make changes? Yes. You literally called it straight out. Awaken the Honored Dead. Feels like it's had its time. It can go back to the graveyard. And it can
Really? I thought you'd want more.
I just think that your creatures just do too much, just do enough stuff. I just didn't feel like it won me games or sorted me out at any particular point.
So it's like Deceit and Wistfulness being your answer to non-land permanents, like, say, out of Lessons, for example. I know Lessons is on the downtick a little bit at the minute, but like being able to bounce that Monument, just getting, all you need is time, really, right? Which is why
it's exile as well.
It's why Lessons sucks into it, is Lessons gives you time. It just goes completely over the top.
Yeah, especially you drop in the Stormchaser talent, like, because ultimately that's the creatures that we might not deal with.
It is dropping the Stormchaser's talent for Countermagic, though. So you're talking spell snare, spell pierce, 3 steps ahead, as I said, it'll quencher. Like, when you're dropping boomerang basics as well, you can actually make a lot of room. And shout out Josh Corliss for talking to me about this list and sending a screenshot of them making Mythic on Arena with it. After we had a very long discussion about why I think playing Stormchaser's talent is correct, and then he just sends me a screenshot of, I hit Mythic and I don't have Stormchaser's talent, so do with this what you will. I loaded it in. I only needed, I think, 1 rare wildcard, something like that. So giving it a go. It feels surprisingly different. It feels like a lot more of a control deck, but it still feels like Lessons, so I'm still fairly comfortable on it. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, and I think that with this Reanimator deck, I was able to sneak some win streaks together is on the basis that everything that Lessons has got to deal with the meta, like as you mentioned, spell slay. Well, there's very little 2-drops I care about you countering here. Like I don't have to worry because I'll see the Bringer the Last Gift and the Deceit and the Wistfulness. They're like 5 and 6 mana respectively. So until there's a adjustment from Lessons with the makeup of its spells, but also then does it even want to adjust its spells? I guess it's going to have to.
I think that's what the lack of Stormchaser's talent is doing, though, right? Is unless you draw exactly Stormchaser's talent and Boomerang basics and nothing else, you can't really clock anyone. You struggle to kill people on, say, turn 4, unless you have a lot of them. And we're not going to be able to race it. So I think you just hope they don't draw Cavern of Souls, hope they don't mill over the Kaviro and pick it up with an Overlord. But if they do, you've got a lot more counter magic. You've got like Spell Pierce to snipe that Awaken the Honored Dead, for example. You've got Spell Snare where you can take away an Oblivious Bookworm, hope that Terror of the Peaks and Arden are just stuck in hand and you've virtually mulliganed to 3. It's really nice that over the next couple of weeks we've got a lot of tournaments, whether it's the Pro Tour this weekend or Spotlight Series or regional championships. There's a lot going on and there's a lot of impetus for people to actually iterate. Obviously, the Pro Tour is the biggest reason for that. It's the one where I know it was the World Championship. It's a Pro Tour level event, but that's when Lessons was debuted, if you like. People had messed around with similar, but we hadn't really seen Monument Artist talent very much, if at all, before the World Championship. So
at all, really.
I don't know. Maybe this Springleaf Drum Elementals deck is gonna do really well. Maybe someone puts something else in it, but I think in its current form, I've played against it. It did some powerful things. It did some not very powerful things. I don't think it's the second coming of Rakdos Scam.
No, I think everyone would love it to be. I think also there's been a similar attempt to try and do Esper Scam but Esper Scam back at the graveyard with Oculus, Wistfulness, and Moonshadow. I've seen a couple of those builds floating around. It's just great that there's quite a bit of innovation, quite a lot to play with, quite a lot of.
It's like, what I said about Lorwyn.
Interactive Magic. Yeah.
It's what I said about Lorwyn last week, right? Was there isn't a Boomerang basics. There's not a card where you're like, oh my god, this is a problem.
Yeah,
there's just a bunch of interesting cards that require a little bit of effort to put in your deck. You can't just really slam them in. With Deceit and Wistfulness in Reanimator, that's just kind of a match made in heaven. With Formidable Speaker, you have to assume that's good in Reanimator. Is it a 4 of? Is it a 2 of? We'll find out, but that's a really special case with that. And the rest of it is there's the odd bit, like there's Spell Snare, there's Requiting Hex, there's Seer, that sort of thing. But the rest of it needs some work. Like, I've been looking at Kinscare Sentry and thinking, right, well, I want to give this haste, so do I put it in a deck with Frostcliff Siege? If I'm playing it in a deck with Frostcliff Siege, do I want Voice of Victory to go with the Sentry? Do I want Riddler to go with the Frostcliff Siege? It requires work that I frankly do not have the time to put into it right now, but there's stuff out there. There's going to be a deck out there that people haven't found. It's going to pop up on Magic Online. It's going to like win a Spotlight Series, and then no one's going to be talking about banning badgermole Cub anymore, which I've seen way too much on Reddit for the last like week and a half.
Yeah, I actually, before we started recording the stream, I was sitting and watching a bit of Doomwick stream, and actually Doomwick himself, as a very well-known streamer, also professional memer, loving the clicks and trying to make it happen, did post the like a retweet of one of our favorite stats guys. No, it wasn't Optimus Tom. This time it was I Love Azorius. I Love Azorius is really, really good as well, but they did a really deep, in-depth take on the sort of like the metagame breakdown share and sort of how things were, and Doomwick sort of replied to it with, if you had badgermole cub plus 50% win rate, if you didn't, minus 50% win rate. And he means it very flippantly, and he's actually on his stream just now gone like, oh my god, I wish I didn't do that, because actually my true take on this is, in the long run, cub will be fine. And I think that's both of our takes, really, isn't it? Is that badgermole cub is definitely, as we'll look into the decks, is definitely right up there, and is power in some of these decks.
Oh, it's a really powerful card. It's one of the best cards in Standard. But say we go down this world where people call for a ban because one card in particular is powerful, and then we ban it and see what happens. So you ban badgermole cub, and then say that Sultai Reanimator is too good. Do you just ban Superior Spider-Man then? And then what about after that? Do you just ban Monument to Endurance or Artist Talent? What about after that? Do you just ban Frostcliff Siege or Stormchaser's Talent or Quantum Riddler? There's always going to be best cards in the format. There's always going to be cards that stand above the rest, and that's why you build decks around those cards. That has been true of all throughout Standard's history. It's normally true of all throughout every other format's history, and it's only when you get out of, say, Pioneer sort of range, when you start looking at Modern and Legacy, where you can get away with playing rancid cards because it's because of a synergy. Like, I played Life from the Loam in Modern, did way better than I should have with that card, purely because of its synergy with Life from the Loam, its synergy in the same deck as Ren and 6, where you can use cycling lands, all these things. And if you put that card in Standard right now, it wouldn't see any play, and no one would be complaining about it. People like to talk about unbanning Deathrite Shaman in Modern. And they're like, oh, but if you put it in Standard, it would be fine. It's fine in Pioneer. And it's like, well, yeah, that's a fundamental misunderstanding of how the card works with fetch lands. But things can be different in different formats. And I understand there's no real impetus to brew in Pioneer right now. badgermole cub hasn't blown Pioneer in half. You can argue that that's because some of the blue-red decks don't even play Vivi.
That's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, it's like they're just like Corey Steelcutter Stormchaser's talent decks, and they don't have room for Vivi.
Phoenix just went, yeah, you're good. We don't need, like, as in we just got no space for you, and that's just crazy.
I did see someone playing Corey Steelcutter Lessons in a challenge. I think that was 3 or 4 days ago, but it's exactly what you'd think with Considers, Divide by Zero, Igneous Inspiration, which is like 3 mana, deal 3, learn,
Love
and
that.
Corey Steelcutter. And they're just like, yeah, I'm just playing all the good Lessons cards as well. But how many Lessons have you seen cast in Modern? How many badgermole cubs have you seen cast in Modern? Like, yeah, fair enough. There's like Zerk won a challenge with Yawgmoth, but you need to understand that that's Zerk playing Yawgmoth, not a normal person playing Yawgmoth. And like Ben Jones, friend of the pod, who has been on a testing team with Zerk more than once, and every single time they were testing for a Modern event, they had to exclude his results with Yawgmoth because he was breaking the matchup graph too much. When he had an 85% win rate on Yawgmoth, no one else could scratch 45. badgermole cub isn't a problem. It doesn't need to be banned. If it needs to be banned in a couple of weeks or after TMNT, fine, but it's not a problem right now. It's not doing Vivi numbers. It's not doing Vivi play patterns. And frankly, not enough people have responded to these Uroboroid decks, to these Landfall decks, because you have played a lot of Uroboroids, you've played a lot of Landfall. How do you beat Jeskai control? Exactly. Like, but
difficulty.
how do you beat a Day of Judgment?
Like you literally have to have one of your one of two of spider senses and luck. Like you can't because they're even adjusting to Ultima now, so you can't even eat the first removal spell because you're gonna be living with 2 lands and 4 drops in hand. So
or even like Aetherize, shout out Sarge for the 6th week in a row on this podcast.
yeah,
Like
whatever one
5th
is.
or 6th, whatever it is, but shout out you, Sarge. Aetherize as well. Return all attacking creatures to their owner's hand. You're telling me Lessons can't play that?
Yeah, like there's a definite over adjustment shift in what is to be the metagame that we're going to look at to stopping Lessons from being at the top tables. There was definitely no effort to stop Cub from being at the top tables. And I just want to like loop to like the point you said about this is not Vivi numbers. Number one, that's perfectly spot on because even in like the win rate graph matrix split ups, we've got like an average of about 54%, 55% on the top decks, right? The top decks are just like there or thereabouts, where Vivi was hitting 60 at some points, which was crazy, right? But yeah, these decks, we have multiple decks. I'm just looking down the list of like the top 16, and we have like 6, 7 archetypes, maybe an 8 archetype in there, really, when you look at Boros Dragons and things as well. There's no worry about all, like, there's much to play. And I think if you saw that and like all of that's going to be in the room tomorrow, you could just easily bring a deck to just destroy all of that. If you thought like I haven't got to worry about Lessons because everyone's playing Cubs now.
Yeah, or even if you go completely off the rails and you want to play Boros Dragons, for example. I know it didn't really get anything from Lorwyn. I'm surprised we're not playing. There's the 2-mana 2/1 Changeling that has first strike on your turn. You can use that to help enable things like Sarkhan, but I suppose this isn't really it's not really a Dragons deck, is it? It's more of a Momo deck.
It's a Momo Conqueror deck. Is basically if you can Momo Conqueror, you basically lock out the Ouroboros decks, which is just it's just
yeah,
crazy.
Like that's the thing, right? Is play Clarion Conqueror, just play Spell Snare. I know people enjoyed our Just Play a Braid episode. Just play fucking Spell Snare.
Yeah,
that's and really good against Ouroboros.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see that the Landfall deck that did really well didn't have white in it, because I just assumed the only way Landfall could now win was by boarding 4 Clarion Conquerors and just stopping anything happening on the other side of the board. But I don't know. Like there's lots to play for. As you did mention, there's absolutely no way we were going to see innovation this week. All of the Pro Tour people are away. Like I think unless you were incredibly local and it just made sense. But from right in saying, isn't the Pro Tour in Richmond, or Vegas?
Pro Tour Lorwyn Eclipse. The many paths. Why don't you just tell me where it is? Magic website. Why is this so hard to use?
Everyone's screaming at us at the
Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, because that's right. Because there's a Spotlight series a month later. It goes back there. But yeah, Richmond and Portland are not even close. If you're in a testing house in Richmond, and I think you're happy to be, because apparently snow just dumped on the whole west coast of America.
There's a lot of Magic players existing in Richmond as well. Like there's actually quite a big Magic scene there, so I wouldn't be surprised that if people were in houses like already, or they've been there since last weekend, testing away, brewing something up, coming up with the new lessons, maybe if they're iterating on lessons. Like Tristan Wild LaRue won Portland with a kind of Ouroboros deck, even though it didn't play Ouroboros specifically. It was 4-color, kind of splashing Bright Glass Gearhulk and Explosive Prodigy purely to find them off of Nature's Rhythm. So maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something with a Nature's Rhythm deck.
Yeah, let's take a look at the top 8. So that just a deck. If this was an adjacent card game, be it Pokemon, they would have called this a Toolbox deck, where ultimately
it's Maverick essentially.
it was using all the good things and going, well, I'm not going to do the overboard thing. I'm going to stop the overboard thing and then just value you out with my quantum riddlers and eventually a crater hoof. I guess the interesting thing for me was that the gear Hulk targets were like so like one-offs to the point of like my plan A almost seems to be I'm gonna turbo to a nature's rhythm, get my gear Hulk, and then have like mockingbirds and any removal that I need.
Yeah, I mean, you can just go get 2 mockingbirds, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can just go get 2 mockingbirds, untap, cast a mockingbird as a bright glass gear Hulk, go get Seam Rip and another mockingbird. You can get a Gene Pollinator, a Llanowar Elves if you want to fix your mana, sort it out that way. You've still got Spider Manifestation with all these powerful high cost cards, so you're doing that sort of thing. Formidable Speaker. This is the Formidable Speaker deck that I wanted to see, where we're actually really utilizing the ETB, but also one and tap, untap another target permanent. Obviously, if you've got a badgermole cub down, you can use that to generate mana, or you can untap, say, your starting town, and yeah, you're taking some damage off of it, or paying some life rather, but you can use that to fix your mana. Doesn't seem bad to me.
Yeah, no, really good. And I loved the inclusion. New card alert was Glenendra Guardian as a one-off again. And it's a very cute, almost like a destroy target permanent one-off on the basis that you go get it and you've got loads of mana. So like you're effectively holding up counterspell.
Yeah.
Like I know it's a non-creature spell, but in this specific type of deck, as I mentioned earlier about holding up Spider Sense, ultimately that's what you're doing.
Yeah, similar. It's that, but you can find it off Nature's Rhythm, right? So I mean, just in terms of Lorwyn cards here, we've got, I suppose, Temple Garden counts, but Explosive Prodigy in the main deck is a one-of. That's why we're touching red. So again, it's Nature's Rhythm, a Nature's Rhythm target that is just removal. You've got Glenlandra Guardian in the sideboard, Hallowed Fountain in the sideboard, that kind of counts. And then one Wistfulness in the sideboard as well, which I imagine is mostly for people like me who are wanting to dick around with Artist Talent and Monument to Endurance. So exactly what we expected, right? Where there's little bits and pieces. A Formidable Speaker as well. That's actually quite a main part of this deck. But there's really good cards, and then there's good cards, and then there's weird cards. And nothing seems to be a complete outlier from it. And if they absolutely insist on standard being the size that it is, you can't just power creep step on step on set. You need to make these things where it's, well, this is interesting. What can I do with this? And even if that's, can I play a blue-green deck so I can get both halves of Wistfulness? Do I end up playing a 4-color deck but still playing Wistfulness because I'm base green? I can use the Naturalize effect. And then sometimes you just cast the bloody thing. Sometimes you evoke it and then it is what it is. I imagine sometimes you do evoke it for blue and you just want to smooth your draw out if you haven't managed to find a badgermole cub, for example. One Morang River Regent in the main board as well. We saw Simon Nielsen use that to really great effect in his Spotlight Series run, where again it's Nature's Rhythm for removal. It's just that's the big removal as opposed to Explosive Prodigy being the small removal. But yeah, I think this deck looks really, really good. It's got a lot of optionality. The concern is the mana base, obviously, but I think it's fine.
It'll just be really nice that as the metas develop, the innovation happens, that you've got that sort of room to put this kind of deck to use. And yeah, we have in modern years had a very 4 type of like constructed format going on, because as you say, cards are getting power creep. The obvious things are obvious, but it's gonna be really, really nice if we can have not so in a vacuum fantastic cards being the best card to slot into decks like this. Another one I saw over the weekend, like they featured it in one of the earlier matches where people were about 4-5-0, didn't actually reach to the top. I saw Lava Leaper get played. I've seen it on the ladder a couple of times this weekend. The 3 in a red, all creatures have haste. Whenever a player taps a basic for mana, that player adds 1 mana of any type that the land produces.
Yeah.
So
mana flare.
Yeah, so it's like again, another great example of, you're not sticking 4 of this card in, but if you can have these decks that can go do a thing, to search a thing, to enable a thing, it's nice to see. It's nice to see that they are holding a space, but they're not then having to be like flashy $25 mythics, like, like the Terror of the Peaks, for example. Then that is also played in some of that Reanimator decks. Like, it's kind of like a finisher and kind of does its thing, but also is going to cost you a good like $25-$30 if you want to put one in your deck. So
nice to know Hexing Squelch has broken the format as well. Shout out all the people on TikTok.
Yeah, how many decks do we see with Hexing Squelch? A big fat 0 in the top 16. I think I saw some side event legacy decks playing it as a 2 of or something.
I mean, I've played against it in mono red in standard. Like, it's like a Punisher style it's actually using Odraxinil really well because it's playing Razorkin, Needlehead, Scalding Viper, Hired Claw.
I've seen that. Yeah.
It's like 4 Magebane Lizard in the sideboard. So I imagine it has really polarized matchups. Obviously, that's quite hard for Lessons to beat. I've found ways to work around some of it, but in that Hexing Squelcher, pretty good card. It's not going to break the format in half, like some people were saying, but it's just fine.
Yeah, and there has been little goblin decks playing around. We saw Ross Merriman actually get a couple of trophies with it. I've seen Claudio
Fire Shoes as well, played it in
Fire
a challenge.
Shoes doing it in a challenge. Claudio doing Claudio things, adding in Agatha Soul Cauldron for some kind of like tap and tap combo craziness.
I assume if he's playing that in Goblins, that's got to be Krenko Mob Boss stuff, right?
Yeah, it's a turbo to Krenko because you get the Howling Heavy. We
Howl
were talking
Squad Heavy, I think.
Howl Squad Heavy
gives out your other Goblin taste.
Yes, so you do that, and also you start playing. Is it like some Carpet Bomber or something? Bomber is the
Carpet Bomber.
Maybe I've been watching too much Hassan. Like maybe, how far are we into the episode? Do we need to stop that?
Goblin Carpet Bomber.
Dropkick Bomber is the card I was on about.
Dropkick Bomber.
But that's actually that doesn't give him haste. That just gives him +1/+1. It's one of those. That's one of those weirdly badly costed Foundations cards for the fact that you can only get it in like the Jumpstart pack. But it's still only $1. Unlucky goblins.
Lord, until end of turn, another goblin. So it makes another one. Oh, what is it? It's like Goblin Air Balloon or Goblin Balloon Brigade, something like that, where you can give them flying.
Yeah, so this stuff, it was probably too early because what we've seen in these decks in the top 8, 16 is we've seen generally in play archetypes get better and iterate slightly. We haven't seen any sort of brand new thing, which is what.
Also, Mud Button Curse Tosser still sounds like an insult.
It sure does. Sure does.
Curse Tosser.
More decks to look at as we go on the top 8. I see Mason Buonadonna. I can never say that name, even though I
Mason Buonadonna, I think.
I heard it like 100 times on coverage on the weekend. Mason did fantastic with Simic. It was the classic. It was basically Simic stock. Jeskai Control did make the semi-finals. I love this build. So Evan Vetter's build has got just 3 creatures, 1 Morang River region, 1 Anagi of the Kushi Island, and 1 Tashana Tiebinder. So it's actually not going in the Shiko way, which I think is like correct, because Jeskai Revelation's a great card, like as well. You have all the bits and pieces.
I was there early, baby, with Pyromancer's goggles.
You were, yeah. It is heavy. It's 4-day adjustments. It's a rest in peace in the main. There's 1 Shitongs in the side, which again I think does just make sense. Different game plans and voice of victories. This deck is very, very difficult to beat if you are playing an all-in non-toolbox type of strategy with Simic board
or anything fair as well.
It is a really, really good deck. We see this locally quite a bit, also stuff adjacent to this.
Should we give Sarge another shout out?
Yeah, shout out again, Sarge. Sarge will just literally have to have their own episode. Although we promised Fire Issues episode 50, I think we'll have to give episode 49 to Sarge. It'll just be his actual.
What episode are we even on? 37?
Yeah, 37. It's coming up, baby. It's coming up. Outside of that, band and airbending was so consistent. I think that was an interesting one. If you look at sort of the breakdown of day 1, day 2 decks which got there, there wasn't that much band airbending played, but there's quite a good conversion rate. And also then in the final top cuts, you've got 1, 2, 3. You got 3 in the top 16,
yeah.
Which probably on percentage. Well, I say this.
Also, none of them are the same deck.
No, because they've got subtle differences. Still kind of angling around the cub ang.
The one in 9th is very different.
So who we got for that? That's
Michael Young. Very different.
Playing Starfield vocalist. That's
Starfield vocalist, Quantum Riddler, Voice of Victory, Werefox Bodyguard, 2 formidable speaker. So there's 1 formidable speaker in Pierre's deck. Michael Bird's is 1 Wistfulness in place of an interdimensional Webwatch. Yeah, so Pierre's and Michael's are quite similar. Their sideboard's completely different. Then Michael Young has just gone completely off the rails, and I love it. There's no badgermole cub that I can see. Yeah, there's no badgermole cub in this deck.
There is an Oko in the sideboard. And ironically, Oko we have seen a bit of play across these decks over the weekend, and that's a fun one to see.
Yeah, I mean, so shout out Charlie from the Get Your Deck Out team. When it was spoiled, Charlie is a huge fan of all things Oko. He also absolutely loves Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3, so has a type. The thing that's most interesting on this Oko is the -1 mill 3 cards, put a permanent from among them into your hand. Repeatedly doing that, if you need to make Elks, you can make Elks. If you can squeeze some value out of the 1 creature gains all creature types, then great, but you don't have to. The +1, protect itself, give a creature -2/-0. We've seen that on the flip side of Jace Vryn's Prodigy. That's a good effect. It is underrated. But yeah, mill 3, put a permanent from among them into your hand, make 2 3/3 green Elks, and then I don't even know what this last one is. Choose a creature type, give them +3/+3 vigilance and hexproof. Sure. So functionally win the game. It's a weird one because you have to pay mana as well as activate the loyalty abilities.
Yeah, you do.
But Charlie messaged me and was like, just tell me this card's unplayable and terrible just so I can make my peace with it. And I went, I don't think it's insane. It's not Thief of Crowns, for example, which just invalidates every card your opponent plays for the rest of the game. It's within the acceptable power level range, but I don't know where it is in that, and it needs the shell around it. Maybe it's the reason you can play Insidious Roots. Maybe you put it in the sideboard of Sultai Reanimator for the grindy matchups. Or in this situation where you're playing Bant Airbending, you are looking for specific cards. Milling 3 and picking up a permanent is essentially casting Anticipate. It's casting Accumulate Wisdom without 3 lessons in your graveyard for all you Zoomers out there that don't know what Anticipate is. It's a powerful effect. It digs deep. And if you can use the other cards that go into your graveyard, then even better. That's just gravy. If delaying is the name of the game, which with Bant Airbending, you just want to delay them and then do your combo, great. So, yeah, I mean, I can see it. It doesn't seem wild to me.
No, not at all. And we've just taken a look at those Planeswalkers in Lorwyn, and they do all just seem to have a very.
Johnny's good, man.
That's such a good fit. I saw a couple of white weenie sort of concept builds off people this week, just sort of from a standard perspective, hey, trying to be a other format player, but trying to have something to play RCQ seasons. That's a bunch of strong cards, especially as we just talked about the Kifkar Sentry. It could be something. There could genuinely be something there.
Hey, Dryad Militant was in Foundations. That's a really good card against Lessons. If they don't immediately Firebending Lesson it, you've got them. Lightstall Inquisitor, good card. Like, pair it with Aven Interrupter. If you want to splash blue for Ang and do that thing and play, like, kind of blue-white tempo, yeah, go for it. Voice of Victory is still a powerful card. Sheltered by Ghost is still good.
Yeah, so lots of stuff still to do. Like, very, very bullish on the fact that Standard has got a lot of big tournaments with a lot of big brains about to go through it. We don't need to even consider or worry about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even though we know what's coming. Like, you could even think about it now, and what I'm going to say is, it doesn't matter. It's so far away, lots going on, lots to play.
Teenage Mutant Turtles. Sorry, it's stuck in my head.
A big weekend of coverage. All looking all the way down, we saw Golgari Roost get played, more Gear Hulk. I'm sort of talking in like the top sort of 10 and 5 records onwards. We saw extra decks. There is, yes, the Elemental Crazy Brews. People were starting to play. I don't know. We'll let them have their fun with it. Team Elementals was a deck that we saw early in the weekend. Jake Koenig, I think, was actually the guy who played it. Yeah, it was Jake. Like that, I just think like, cool. Like you managed to source a vendor. You opened a shit ton of Lorwyn in a week and a half. But
I am playing Lorwyn Tribal. Leave me alone.
Yeah, and even along the way, Four Kind of Allies was getting it as well. Like that was another great thing to see that deck wasn't
there's still some really, really powerful allies.
I still find it incredible to answer how Mono Green Landfall is still doing better than Selesnya Landfall as we go, but I guess these people just know what they're doing, and that's about all we'll give them to them. But yeah, I think the sign off is format's good, format's fun, good to see it, glad to see it. I'd really like to know if we're going to be playing another RCQ season. I find it a bit strange that like this RCQ season only lasts until the end of March, and we do not know what's coming in April. But
yeah, it's a little weird. It's almost as if they don't know what they want to do. It's almost as if I feel like someone in the office went, Are we doing Pioneer? And then it started like 3 weeks of meetings where they're like, well, do we do another standard? Do we go for a modern? How's modern looking? The answer is, by the way, for the people who don't care about modern, don't look at modern, it's fine. It's kind of chugging along. It's not really changed all that much. Boros is still probably the best deck, but that's also up for debate. I saw someone with Omnath in their deck list, I think yesterday, maybe. Let me find it.
Yeah, because ultimately you're almost an elemental, right? So when you've got new elementals to play with, you're gonna want to try do some things.
Oh, there's not a single new elemental in it. It is Miracles, but it's playing Omnath. So as I'm sure you can imagine, my attention was had. It plays an Arena of Glory. Oh, but it's got 3 Ren and 6 in it.
Okay.
Oh no.
We're going to sign off there. Scott's off the card market.
No, I still own Ren and 6s. Do not underestimate me. It's more that I can't be bothered pulling all of these cards out of my bulk boxes. Shout out bulk box, we love you. I can't be bothered doing this to play it and go, it's still not very good, but also it has Flage and Arena of Glory in it. And for the people that don't know, my partner plays Boros Energy pretty religiously. I ain't getting them Flages off of her. Especially if I go, hey, I've seen a deck with Ren and 6 in it. She's going to ban me. She's going to cut me off. So
yeah, but Modern's doing well. Legacy's doing well as well. I'm not hearing too much like shouty, angry from over there, which is really great though, because obviously we're hosting our first Legacy independent event as the Get Your Deck Out crew on the 21st of February. Tickets are actually in description and actually selling super fast. We've just gone over our first initial cap, so it'll be great to see you there. There is a duel for first place, so that is better duels incoming, the more of you who are there.
Most recent Legacy Challenge top 8 that I can see: Oops All Spells, Dimir Tempo, Jeskai Wizards, Blue-White Control, Dimir Tempo, Mardu Aggro, Oops All Spells, Blue-Red Delver.
Yeah, we got some people who've been reached out to chat about it over the coming weeks, because obviously we want to give that format enough respect.
Lockmare in the Jeskai Wizards deck.
Oh, interesting. I pulled one of those today.
Ooh, look at you buying random packs, doing what
Yeah.
we advise not to do.
No, do you know what I did? Like, it's sort of good financial advice was when I was buying Christmas presents. I went to Sports Direct, and Sports Direct had if you spend over £100, you get a £20 voucher after Christmas. So it was like you could only cash in after Christmas, and I instantly went buy things here. Profit on Lorwyn. So earlier today, I just pop by and got myself a cheeky little bundle for £29.99.
Sports Direct sells Magic cards.
Yeah, because they bought Game, so Game is in Sports Direct now.
Did they?
Yeah.
This shows how long it's been since I've walked down a high street.
Yeah.
I walked in. What was it? I think it was like 4 years ago now. But Argoses are just like in Sainsbury's now.
Yeah, crazy. It's
crazy.
crazy.
Did a click and collect for an Argos, and it was like, yeah, it's the Sainsbury's up the road. I was like, you fucking what? When? Like,
yeah, it's exactly that. It's exactly that. It's you just go to Sainsbury's and it's there. But yeah, interesting times. Interesting few weeks ahead. We've also got a great one in the Southwest. We are at our home store in Firestorm Games, hosting on the 7th of Feb, hosting an RRCQ. We're also then going to be traveling the next day to Full Fire up in Gloucester. Scott won't be, because as you saw in the other episode, Scott just won one, so he's going to come hang out on the 7th.
I will be at the Cardiff one.
Yeah, and what we're going to give to you, because see, the Get Your Deck Out t-shirt, we still have some of this drop still hanging around. We've got some new ones incoming on design, but this one of these fun little sort of like I don't know, esports style shirts. If you are one of the people who come to the Cardiff event and the Gloucester event, we'll stick all your names in the hat, raffle out the Gloucester event. We've got one of these. Don't worry. The one that we got left comes in ultra fat boy size. So if you just want to wear it to bed, or
can I have it?
or your large lad or lady, like it'll be fine. It'll be fine for you. So yeah, we want to see you out there. I'll see.
However, if you are a petite human being, you need to understand that Dave's in his 40s and I'm just young and fat. So
yeah, when we do the stylish drop, we'll make sure that you young skinny people are looked after.
The stylish drop. So we're like externally consulting on that, yeah, because I know neither of us know.
Yeah, that's what we asked the people on Fiverr to look at. That's nothing to do with.
You send me a picture. Does this look good? And I just immediately turn around and ask my partner and her sister, like.
Exactly. It's just, will people buy that? I don't know, because I'll wear it. It's got this on it. But
I'm contractually obliged to wear it.
Contractually obliged. But yeah, we just want to go off and play some Magic. So if you've got any decks you are currently playing, you'd like us to see or check out, we've got some playing to do. We've got a Discord to use. We've got Magic Online to go play. We'd like to see more of it, spread it all about. Big apologies as well for missing this episode for last week out of the feed. I forgot to hit the button on YouTube that said this is a podcast. So crazily enough, since I did that about 4 hours prior to this recording, another like 35 of you have gone and watched the episode. So it does actually show how, like, yeah, look after your admin, kids.
Actually tagging your episodes appropriately is the
well,
key.
I went to do it this afternoon. I like this. You had another hour left in work. I needed to lock in, so I don't know why locking in was like, oh, I'm going to go listen to our episode on the podcast. And I was like, where the hell is it? And then I actually realized, oh, I'm in control of this mistake. It was like,
yeah, for the people out there that want the little insight into the behind lives of me and Dave with this podcast, we both listen to it more than we probably should. And if Dave's anything like me, you just sit there with your head in your hands going, how did I misspeak this many times this quickly? But you guys seem to enjoy listening to us for some reason, so shout out all of you. If you're still here, I love you.
Exactly. And this week we'll be booting up, or at least I'll be booting up the Twitch stream in preparation for prepping for the LRCQ weekend. Also, Store Champs weekends. You need to be getting out to those over this coming
Ocelot Prides, right? And Guide of Souls and
Ocelot Pride, Guide of Souls. So if you
Goblin Bombardment? Question mark?
Yeah, so just for turning up, Goblin Bombardment. Top 8 in Guide of Souls.
It's not like the biggest financial hit, but they're at least fucking playable. And at this point, I'll take it.
Yes. And I'd like to think if it's going to signal anything, it's so that we can gear up to Boros Energy Summer when all of the standard players
that
have
makes
got
me
it.
think the next one's going to be a modern season, man.
Yeah,
If they're
it
doing
feels like
Boros Energy cards, I feel like they're going to turn around and go, hey, it's modern. Everyone play Boros. And people are going to go, I don't want to spend the other £700 on this. And the existing modern players are going to be happy. If you come into an RCQ when it's modern season in Cardiff and you need to borrow cards, get in a Discord, give us a shout. We have got a very, 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 very active modern scene, and loads of us have way more money than sense. So we will be able to lend cards. Don't worry.
That's it. So for those of you who now are planning how you can come and take our net worth from us, on that note, we'll say goodbye. Have a great one. Go get your deck out, and we'll see you on the next one.
Be gay, do crime.
Not like rob me crime though. That
I mean, like commit crimes, but only in Magic the Gathering, or if there's certain organizations in your path in the streets of America, and you think, nah, salt would melt this quite well.
Thanks for listening to the end of the show. Bye. Love you, Trump. I balanced it out now for the algorithm. Completely balanced out.